Warren Buffett is the greatest investor that I know of. I mean, aside from all those that trade in the government illegally, but besides them, he is the all-time great. Everyone knows his name. Everyone knows his brand, Berkshire Hathaway. And so today we're going to be doing a full breakdown on Berkshire Hathaway stock, BRK.B. We're going to be tracking how this growth stock can hold up to some of the biggest growth ETFs, dividend ETFs, and all things in between, because it's absolutely phenomenal how well this thing has performed. Now, of course, I'm a big fan of Warren Buffett myself and how he trades. I've read a lot of content on him. I've seen a lot of video breakdowns on his trading style, and I do think, even though he is definitely an older gentleman now, that he has a lot of great knowledge to pass down to the future generations of investors. Maybe one day someone in our generation will even surpass him. But until that day, we're going to keep studying all of his information and his opinions. So that's what today's video is on, investing $10K into BRK.B, seeing how much money we can make and if this is the stock that we can retire on instead of some of our other growth ETFs. So if you guys are interested in growth stocks and dividends, in making money in the stock market, you are in the right place. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe for more future content. With all that being said, let's roll the intro. One thing that does hinder Berkshire Hathaway's ability to grow, one, the size of how massive it is. It's at 1.14 trillion USD, but also they pay no dividend whatsoever. And the only reason I say that hinders it is because in the long run, the compounding of the dividends can really help boost a lot of these growth ETFs. Even if it is less than 1% of dividend, it does make a difference. We can see in the last year, it is up 31%. In the last 5 years, 185%. And all time, it's up 2,112.33%. Absolutely insane. Had you invested originally when it was trading for $24, you would have so much money now. It's hard to even fathom. And that is the power of Warren Buffett. If we knew to invest all the way back in 1996, a year before I was born, I guess I should have been investing in Berkshire Hathaway instead of not existing at that point. It's foolish of me. Hopefully some of you guys caught this wave and will continue to catch it if this thing continues to go nuts, which I believe it will. So I'm super pumped about today's video. BRKB is one of the most popular stocks that seems to get mixed reviews, I will say, because it's a little bit slower growth, but we're going to debunk all of these myths about it and see if it can keep up with all of our new growth ETFs. So I did some digging on the website, and why does this look like an early 2000s website, like from the government for some reason? This is absolutely insane. They've got messages from Buffett. Initially I was like, am I even on the right page? This is the page that pops up. You can see some of their other information, emails, contact information, blah, blah, blah. I even looked at some of their annual reports, and I will say, I know stock market investing is not the craziest, most adrenaline rush kind of thing, but this is the most boring stuff I've ever seen. And I look at a lot of information. So I'm not even going to do a full breakdown on the annual reports. It's very wordy, I will say. I didn't see one single graph. I looked through quite a bit, reading a lot of the info. There's good info in there, but it's hard for my Gen Z brain to even follow it. So I'm not going to break down too much from this. We're going to look straight at the returns that we've seen with BRKB, because that is the best thing to really look at, in my opinion. Yes, the investor reports are important, and knowing what a stock stands for and the dividend history and all that is really, really important. But all in all, just looking at what the chart has done and knowing that it's Warren Buffett, I'm going to let this one slide. So I'm not going to do too much on the news releases and whatnot, but look at how old-fashioned this is. And this just goes to show you, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's absolutely insane. This $1 trillion stock, this is the website it takes you to. There's not even a picture of Warren Buffett on here, right? Like, that's clickbait. Let's be real. That's clickbait. If you see a Warren Buffett on a tweet, on a TikTok, you're watching it for at least a little bit longer. And they don't even put him on here. So absolutely insane. Really funny to me. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Do you need a better website? Is it really important? Is he focusing on other things? Because, I mean, you can go to like the common stock information. You can see all this stuff. But really, this is like the entire thing. It's just, look at this. Memo. This is all it is. Like, there's nothing on here, really. And this is from 1999. Absolutely insane. So I have pulled up dividendchannel.com, and we have BRKB plugged in. So I am going to compare this to some of the other ETFs that we've talked about on the channel before. But really quick, let's just look at the chart itself. We got to zoom in here. Insane. Absolutely insane. So what they say is the stock market averages 8 to 12% every single year, or it has for the last 30 something years. And all this shows is that BRK.B is able to capitalize on that with a near 11.5% return average annual, meaning every year you'd get 11.41%. Again, with no dividends. There's zero dividends ever paid out by this stock. And this is from 1996. This is a very, very long time. So you could have invested 10K at $23.20 a share initially. That 10K would now be worth $229,000 in under 29 years. Absolutely insane. It's on a crazy run right now too. I mean, if this thing has just spiked. If it paid a dividend, it would be 100% at the top of my list. I'm bummed that it doesn't pay at least a little bit. I never really looked into this one this deeply because I never considered buying it until I really got into growth investing with some of these things, kind of comparing it to like VOO, SCHG, QQQ. But no dividend at all definitely hurts, and it's going to hurt our projection, but let's compare it. So let's compare it to just the NASDAQ 100 and see how it compares, which is QQQQ. And I mean, they're neck and neck. BRK.B does outperform, though, even with dividends reinvested on QQQ. The only difference, I would say, is longevity-wise. Like, this is still 26 years. If you were to go another 30 years out, say 60 years total invested, I think QQQ would pull ahead because of the dividends being reinvested. And again, it's not a lot. With dividends not reinvested, BRK.B far outdoes QQQ. Now let's do another favorite. We'll do VOO. Let's do VOO. VOO, the difference. VOO doesn't outperform it either with dividends reinvested even. Again, it's 0.24% lower over 15 years, which is still really insane, but I mean, it just can't keep up. BRK.B. This is why people love this stock. And lastly, we'll do QQQ. We'll do Invesco's because it has a phenomenal return and still not even close, really. I mean, you're talking 20% difference. Wow. I didn't expect this good of a return from BRK.B. I knew it was insane, right? But I didn't run all these calculations because I like to do kind of a live reaction. But in reality, even countering, it counters some of these dividends with growth. And that's the thing. Who knows what it's going to do moving forward? I don't know. I'm sure Buffett is, of course, a major factor in this. He's getting older. I'm not sure he's going to want to do this forever. So maybe longevity-wise, I don't know who's going to take his spot, if he's planning on someone taking his spot, who knows? But all in all, this is absolutely insane. And then we can see with dividends not reinvested, it really outperforms it. 9.54% to 9.04%, a 0.5% difference over 26 years, which is pretty impressive. Wow. Really, really impressed. I already knew Buffett was absolutely the greatest investor of all time, and he just continues to be so. I will say this is a very expensive stock at $531.27 per share. So we're really only going to see growth come out of this. We are not going to see any dividends. We're not going to see any dividend growth. This is a growth stock through and through. And after 1 year of investing 10K, we're also not factoring in taxes or anything like that because I like to invest in a Roth. And so maybe I'll buy one of these shares in my Roth just to hold it for a bit. But I don't like to factor in taxes because it's kind of difficult depending on what you're investing in, what vessel, your income, all that good stuff. So after 1 year, your 10K will be worth $11,139. And we're slowly going to just see this climb. This is not a fund that is going to pay you 100% returns in 2 years, right? It's a safe, secure stock. That's the thing. After 5 years, your 10K becomes $17,161, which is phenomenal. You're averaging 11.41% total return, and our total return is 71.64%. Which again is amazing. Over 5 years, that's very, very solid. I know with a lot of the new funds, people can get really carried away in 20, 30, 50% returns every year. It's not, in my opinion, it's not possible to continue to do that, right? There's no longevity to it. So just my opinion, maybe you think it is. That's 100% up to every individual investor to invest how you want to in your investment style. Not financial advice. Have to say that every video. 10 years. After 10 years, you're looking at a near 200% total return, 194.61%, and our ending balance is $29,456. And again, our average annual return is still that same 11.41%. Let's do 15 years. We'll do a slow climb. After 15 years, your 10K is worth $50,558, Oof, that was a mouthful. A lot of fives. And we can see, again, a total return of 405%. 20 years in, we're really going to start cooking here. We can see your 10K is worth almost $87,000. We're well into the 767% range. And again, no dividends. No dividends. So what I like to do for 30 years, I like to say, let's say you're 30 years old, you invest 10K into BRK.B, and you hold it for 30 years, and it trades at the same rate it has over the past 30 years at an annual average return of 11.41%. How much money do I have to retire at when I'm 60? Well, if this is your only retirement account, you are going to struggle. If you've only invested 10K for retirement, it's going to be hard to survive. But that 10K would net you $255,656, which in 30 years will be worth less than it is now, unfortunately, with inflation. But just think about it. That could take you on an absolute insane vacation, like to Mars. That could be an insane down payment on a house for a loved one or a vacation home for yourself. There's so much you can do. It can be a brand new car. I don't know if cars will be flying in 30 years. If they are, you can buy a flying car. This really shows the power of just buying and holding these phenomenal stocks that have insane returns. And BRKB is no different. You are investing into the greatest investor the world has ever seen. I mean, maybe there's some like from ancient times that had tons more money, but you know, yada, yada. Modern history, I would say. So it's absolutely phenomenal, and this is why I love Berkshire Hathaway. It's why I love Warren Buffett. I've been reading a lot of his, like I said, his content, his information, watching a lot of his videos, just to really try and get a grasp of how this man decides what he invests in, because it's worked, and it's worked for a very, very, very long time. The only other way you can really make money like this, be a doctor, lawyer, dentist, trade stocks in Congress, that's kind of it, right? I do want to point out, I know I already talked about it a little bit, you guys realize Warren Buffett is the greatest investor. I've said that over and over again. You realize there are people in our government that are trading at twice the average return that he gets every year? Yes. The greatest investor we've ever had. The greatest investor is getting outdone and doubled by some Joe Schmo random representative from a random state with no background in finance. So just it goes to show you. I mean, if you don't dislike the government to a certain extent, I hope that helps, because it's absolutely insane what they're able to do. So little tangent there, but all in all, BRKB, phenomenal stock, phenomenal returns, security, and it's what I love. We'll actually do one more. Let's do 30. Let's say you start investing at 20, and so you're going to go to 40. So you're 60 years old when you retire. You put your 10K savings into BRKB, and you held it for 40 years. That $255,000 goes all the way to $753,000. An absolute insane number. Yes, 40 years is a long time, but for 7,400% returns, I think I could wait. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown on Warren Buffett's extremely famous and extremely profitable BRKB stock. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I will be adding some to my portfolio on these dips. I'm very, very excited to see how it performs. Let me know down in the comments what you think about BRKB and how it competes with some of these other growth ETFs I've talked about on the channel before. Speaking of, if you like SCHD, you're going to want to watch these videos popping up on your screen right now for the full breakdown and my opinions on that ETF, which I definitely am a huge fan of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.